Hey guys, it's Benny here, and what I wanted to do is show you a standard rehab warm-up before you come in and train in your PT session. So come on through. What I wanted to show you is that everyone has their own rehab program. Now that's stored here, and they're highlighted with your own specific exercises that you need to do when you come in before your sessions and also after your sessions. So you can find this, your name will be on this here, and you can always find this. The first place we're going to go when you come in is obviously pop your stuff down, grab your towel and water, and we're going to head up to the bike or the rower. Cool guys, so what I want to show you is how the bikes work. So obviously our seats are adjustable, they come up just by pulling them up like that, and they also go down with this lever. You can just pull and drop. Okay, so that's how they move. Now what we want to do is find a place, it's around about your hip level, and then just see the number here that you can see. There's obviously a number for everyone, and just get to know what that number is, and then you'll know what your right level is. So for me, it's about 20, and then we're going to jump on the bike, and we're just going to spin your legs out for around maybe 3 to 5 minutes. Now when we get spinning, we want to press the green button. So that's quick start, just here, and then we're going to take the level up to around about 8 to 10. And we just want to spin at a reasonable pace, just getting a little bit of blood flow, and just getting you nice and warm, ready for a good session. So from the bike or the roll, we're going to come down, we're going to go into a suspension row. So this is for everyone that sits at a desk, is quite rounded, and we want to work on that shoulder retraction. So this is going to really help you get warmed up. What we do, take a position here, our hands are on the middle, we're going to walk the feet underneath, nice slightly bent knees. Now you can vary this depending on the intensity you want to feel. What we're trying to get is just a nice good squeeze between your shoulder blades, control on the way down, and we want to do about 20 to 30 of these, okay? Now what we're going to do from there is try and work on that posture and do a bit of a chest release. So that's by grabbing the loops each side and then walking out and doing a chest stretch like this. It's important when you do this stretch that your hands don't go back behind you, otherwise you won't feel it through your chest. What we want to do is keep your hands facing forward and straight, and then leaning in and getting a nice chest stretch. Now what we can also do is go to the floor with our knees and have our hands slightly above. And what that does is just work on a slightly different muscle in our chest. Really helps improve your posture. It's going to help you feel a lot better. So from there, the next exercise is going to be a glute raise here on the floor. So what we're going to do is a glute raise, and this is to really get your glutes activated. Most of us have sedentary jobs where we sit in a desk most of the day, and your glutes become quite lazy and inactive. So what we're going to do, we're going to grab one of the mats, and we're going to lay down. Now we do that on this side because obviously we want to keep that side free to do your suspension row. So just laying down and taking about a shoulder width stance with your knees flexed around 90 degrees. Hands are flat by your side. We're just going to simply elevate the hips and then repeat that. Now we want to go through about 50 of these, about 30 to 50. You should really be feeling your glutes burning by the end. Now there's a progression to this as well. As you become more advanced, what we can do, if we come around and look at the front here, we can work on a single leg bridge. So that's where we extend one leg out and hold that position, maybe for about 10 seconds. Then we repeat and swap the side. And what we're trying to do is make sure that the hip doesn't drop away or fall away. We're trying to keep those hips stable, head back relaxed, down, and work on just getting that glute stabilized and working on getting them switched on. We can progress further by dropping the bottom to the floor and then squeezing up that one leg. That's quite difficult, and you might only be able to do 5 or 10 of those. Okay, so after that, what we're going to do is work in a few trigger points, which I'll take you through now. So the last exercise we'll do in our standard rehab warm-up is just a plank. So we do this just to get your core switched on. Then after this, you'll be really warmed up and you'll be ready to do a couple of trigger points. So we're going to lay in your tummy in this position. Now what we're going to do is go up into a knee to elbow plank. Now you'll notice here that you'll see that my back's quite arched. And I'll show this to you. Now this is a common posture, it's called lordosis. It's something that we want to avoid. So if we're going to come a little bit closer and have a little look, what we wanted to do is to elevate our bottom and then to tuck our pelvis. And you'll see a nice flat posture through my spine. Then we want to suck your belly button in as tight as you can, and then elevate to your toes and hold in that position for around about 10, 15, 30 seconds, because this is quite difficult. And then we're going to go back down and have a bit of a rest. We're not going to let the hips or posture go saggy or loose or lazy. We're going to maintain that posture, but you're just releasing the tension from the tummy a bit. Then when we want to do another working set again, we're going to suck it back in, tuck the pelvis, back up to your toes. So that's your standard plank. So what we don't want to do is just go straight into a plank like this, but have this type of posture, or this type of posture. So we need to be tucked up to the toes and holding in that position. Then from here, as we get more advanced, we can start working on some more serious progression. So that's working to a single leg, or even an alternate arm, alternate leg, or coming up to your hands and then back down. So all of those progressions is what we can work towards, but the basic core exercise is just getting your abs switched on, and that's going to help you have a great session and be feeling really warmed up, ready to go, and make sure that you're not going to have an injury or anything like that while you're training. So what we're going to work into next is your trigger points. We'll go through that now. So just to summarise, we've come inside, we've gone up, we've done a row or a bike, we've got a bit of warmth in our body. Come down, we've done some suspension rows, we've done a chest stretch, we've done our glute raises, and then we've done our core activation, okay? And this should only take a few minutes to do, probably 5 minutes total. Then we're going to do some trigger points just to release tension so your body can move and be mobile during the movements that we're going to use during your PT session. So using your rehab program, there's a few kind of go-to areas for everyone. For most people, typically, it's glutes and also like your ITB for knee pain. Sometimes it can also be through the hip flexors because everyone's sitting and quite tight through the hip flexors. So depending on the session we're doing for that day, it's going to vary. So obviously we've got our glute trigger point, which is down here, finding the main point in our bottom and just down and relaxed. This is a harder version because I've got more leverage on my elbow. If it's too painful, just laying down, making sure this knee's bent, putting most of your weight through this leg, then leaning over to the side that you're on. Now your ITB is the tendinous tract that runs down the side of your leg. We're going to find the midpoint, lay on it, you'll feel it because it's quite sore, then other foot comes on top, just to add a bit of leverage, and then turn the hip over onto it, and you'll feel that come on. You might even get a little referral down to your knee. Now the other one is a hip flexor. Very important to find the perfect spot. Bend the knee, take your hand down, find the intersection of where your hip is. It's the soft part of your hip flexor. We're going to place the ball there, just on the side. Then what we're doing is turning right over, and this one, what we do is we get it underneath. We're going to pinch that muscle against our hip, and then we can actually turn the foot over to get some leverage. Now this one's quite uncomfortable, but it's something that you get used to and is very beneficial. And what you'll find is you'll be able to move and squat so much better after you do this one. Now the final trigger points are for our upper body posture. Now we do that out here, and we use this corner here, so come on through. And this is for our chest and also for our shoulder and trigger points. So what this is, when we've got that rounded posture, if you get a sore shoulder, this is how we fix it. So coming in, we use the ball, we find our collarbone, go underneath that spot, and you'll find a soft squishy spot here. That's where the ball goes. Then we bend our knees down, push in, and then we go up and into that position there. And we're gonna hold that and just get that tension and just roll through that area to kind of release a bit of tension. Now the other spot we're gonna work through is the back of the shoulder, or the shoulder blade, in your rotator cuff. Now what we do is it's right on the inside of your rotator cuff, and it's on top of your scapula. So where your shoulder blade is, the ball's gonna go there. We're gonna come over, put a bit of weight into it, and then get down, and we want to be slightly on a side angle, because when we're flat we can't get it, so we need to turn slightly to the side. Now the arm that you're doing, bring that across your body and just cradle it with your other hand. That takes the tension out of this arm, and we can really start to target those sore spots. Roll it around, find the sore spot, I've got one, and find that and just add some pressure. And what you'll find is that will start to release, and then you'll start to kind of not feel any pain in that spot. Then what you'll feel is a lot more movement, free range of motion. You're gonna be able to get into your session, be able to punch everything out. And what we don't want to have is you stopping during your session because you've got some pain. So if we can keep that continuity during your sessions, you're going to get better results. You're going to feel great and you're going to be pain-free. So that's our standard warm-up. Just to summarize again, come in, bike, rower, coming back down, suspension row, chest stretch, then a glute raise, and then also the core, and then finishing with some trigger points. And then we'll be calling you out for a hardcore session in no time. All right. Thank you for listening, and train hard.